Being the profile stalker that I am, I couldn't help but notice that a lot of people seem to be stuck in their hero choices, whether they feel forced to only play what they think they're good at, or whether other people impose that choice upon them. I think it's time to shake things up for a lot of us. Hey, what's up guys, I play support because I suck at the game here, and today we'll talk about how you can effectively learn new heroes and possibly even change your main. With that said, I will come out and admit right out of the gate that the most simple way is having an alt account, an account where you don't care to maintain the highest possible rating that you can pull off, and by that giving you a clear head to only focus on improving. Obviously, with me being a YouTuber and all, this is something that I take advantage of. I mean, it would be stupid not to if you do have access to it, but for me an alt account is a business investment for many reasons. Others might feel opposed to that idea, and don't worry, I'm keeping you guys in mind with today's video. Speaking of alt accounts though, tomorrow on July 4th I'm going to be celebrating my birthday both on YouTube and Twitch, so keep your eyes peeled for a little giveaway and drop by the stream if you have the chance. So let's get cracking. There are various ways of approaching the plan to learn new heroes. I've decided to share 3 of such ideas that I believe are the most common and most effective. When it comes to learning new characters, there are only so many things that you can do differently. In some cases it's less about what you do and more about how you do it, or what you focus on when doing it. So I will kick things off with my least recommended way, and we're going to work ourselves up to what I believe is the best way of doing this. The first and most obvious way is simply saying, hey, this hero looks broken this season, I'm gonna play that now, and then simply going to town. There are a lot of players out there who swap their mains according to meta trends in every season. More often than not, there's a reason why these heroes are considered broken, or are often among the only viable heroes according to the community. So learning them is nothing but a time investment under optimal circumstances. Whether meta slaving every season and only playing what's considered broken is actually gonna help you becoming a better player or not is debatable. But obviously you can always just decide that you want to play a hero and then sink as many hours into practicing it as it takes. The second method I feel is a bit more reasonable. All you have to do is take a look at your current main heroes, see what makes you good at playing them, and then try to figure out which other heroes could benefit from your skill sets. Imagine you were a Widow main, but you're tired of your team always low-key throwing whenever you make your pick. As a Widow main, you might be really good at flickshotting. A hero that this can translate quite well to could be McCree, for example. And it is really just this approach that you should then take in evolving further and further. Maybe you end up being great at every hit scan hero in the game, or you're becoming a projectile specialist. You can also become a flanking expert, or maybe you make it your job to learn every single tank in the game. By choosing heroes that benefit from things you are already good at, you're having a way easier time becoming a valuable asset to your team on those heroes. And now the third method, the one that I would personally suggest is the best way to effectively pick up new main heroes, and it all starts in the arcade. Yep, you heard me right, this is a multi-stage plan that has you starting off playing mystery heroes in the arcade. Mystery heroes is a great environment to pick up heroes you've never played before. Nobody can get mad at you for playing something you're bad at, since the choice is literally out of your hands. Furthermore, the game might even give you heroes you never thought about picking up in the first place. In addition to that, you are thrown into an environment where you have a good chance of opposing other players who are also bad at the heroes they were given. Random hero compositions that nobody can affect and somehow tries to make work. It wasn't until I've been given D.Va multiple times in mystery heroes to great success that I learned that I wasn't half bad at playing her. With that said, D.Va is not exactly a difficult hero to get value out of in the first place. Fact of the matter states that every single hero that I ended up becoming really confident in were choices made by a gut feeling. Heroes I picked up because I felt like I was naturally doing well on them, which made practicing to get even better way easier. And fact is also that every hero that I tried to force on me as a new main ended up being quite a frustrating experience for me. So it is my belief that the best way of approaching to expand your roster is by simply following that gut feeling. And mystery heroes again is great to play through a random selection of heroes and see what sticks. But as I said, this is a multi-stage plan, so let's keep going. While having the chance to get everyone on the same playing field with heroes that they're not good at is great about mystery heroes, obviously this can also backfire. You might do extraordinarily well only because everyone else got suboptimal hero picks, for example. Or you might do extraordinarily terrible because someone happened to get their main and they proceed to go to town with her. So don't jump the gun too quickly and don't write off a hero too early either. It's best to really give it some time without pressing yourself. Have some fun and just play to your heart's content. Once you're done with that stage, however, and you really feel like you found something that could stick, it's time to move to the next level. For the sake of this video, let's make a hypothetical example. Let's say that I ended up making Zarya a contender for becoming my new main. After stomping some kids in arcade for a while, it is time to learn what makes Zarya a strong strong hero. For that purpose, we move on to Quickplay. In this stage, it is very beneficial if you can record your gameplay by using something like Shadowplay, GVR, or OBS. Reviewing your own games is always a good idea to effectively find out how you can improve. If you don't have that option, try to avoid tunnel visioning and really focus on your game. So we're jumping into Quickplay as Zarya and learn that playing her in a slightly more coordinated environment is a bit more difficult. In a game mode where the hero choice is not random, chances of running into others who are genuinely good at their picks is obviously far more likely. Now you have to try and figure out what your hero wants you to do on a mechanical level. Try to get the basics down, learn what works and what doesn't on the most basic level. In our example, we learned that Zarya is a hero that strongly benefits from good tracking. We might lower our sensitivity and DPI a bit to try and accommodate for that skill set. After a good while of Quickplay practice, we get more confident with her on a mechanical level and learn little, albeit basic tricks. Something like preemptively shielding not being a good idea. We learned that only shielding once we are already taking damage nets us more charge in the vast majority of circumstances. We start to get a feeling for the maximum distance in which our graviton still pulls the enemies in. We learn which heroes we are strong against and which heroes we should best avoid. All of these basic things can easily be learned only by going into Quickplay. Now the next step is where we put our elo on the line. Once we feel like we got the hang of Zarya mechanically and reached the point where we feel like Quickplay taught us a good few tricks, we queue up for competitive. Obviously, the only way to learn how to play a hero on ranked is by playing them on ranked. And even if you feel confident on your hero of choice based on Quickplay, be ready to get shit on when playing ranked. I'm not saying that it will inevitably happen, but there is a good chance. Playing well in Quickplay is way different from playing well on ranked. Players pick their heroes differently, they position themselves differently, they use their ultimates differently, and they ultimately play differently altogether, depending on your elo. However, you do have your basic knowledge and you got your mechanics down, so we are already on a good way there. The next thing is much less of a tip and much more something that I do personally. Let me preface that with saying that the idea that YouTubers are perfect players is absolutely retarded. I get mad a lot, I get toxic a lot, and altogether the things that I do in my games have more the goal of me having a good gameplay experience rather than being an optimal player. What I'm trying to say is that us making videos with tips and tricks on how you should play doesn't mean that we always follow this advice ourselves. And some of you might know from your own experience that following that advice is not always all that easy. Long story short, yes, when we say that being toxic is a really dumb fucking idea if you have any intention of winning your matches at all, we mean it. But that does not mean that we never get angry or toxic ourselves, and if any YouTuber claims otherwise, I call bullshit on them. The question is how you handle such moments, and here's how I do that, so take it as you will. Whenever I want to learn new heroes, I simply mute every form of communication. I leave voice chat and I block text chat. I don't need meta slaves whining throughout the entire match how my hero of choice is not optimal, and ultimately I play way better without people being pissy on voice, so the point is really to just keep your head in the game and focus on nothing but your performance and how you can get better. Be ready to make mistakes and be ready to learn from them, because that's what this is about. You're not gonna be amazing right from the get-go, and that's fine, because something like positioning in a competitive environment is something you can only learn on ranked. So once you reach a point where you're confident mechanically, it's all about two things. One being little tips and tricks that you pick up along the way due to odd situations, and the other is experience. It is experience and nothing but experience that teaches you how you should position yourself with which hero at any given time with various different team comps on any map. So absorb all these things like a sponge. And that's all there's to it. Play some mystery heroes and let your gut feeling tell you which heroes are worth putting more time into. Play them a bunch in Quickplay to validate your choice, learn what makes them strong mechanically, and get the hang of their basics. Once you get a hang of them, hop into competitive and learn what it takes to perform on them in a more coordinated environment. After that, it's all a matter of experience. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Don't forget to tune back in tomorrow on July 4th for my birthday giveaway on both Twitch and YouTube. Drop me a like on your way if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and hope to see you all next time. Alright, boost me.
I don't even have... That's gonna kill someone. Okay. Fun game, dude.
This is the best video game, dude.